How's it going, guys? I'm back again with another video. So, 14 things I wish I knew about girls. I was having a conversation with my little brother lately. My little brother is about 9 years younger than me, so I've seen him grow from the time that he was young to now, where he's about to graduate high school, and he has his girlfriend as well. And me and him were having a conversation. We're talking about life and girls and everything. And he asked me if you got any advice for me, like if you got any tips or any lessons from the L's that you've taken over the last few years. And I said to him, I'll have a look. So I had a look at my diary to see some of the lessons that I've been noting down over the years. And in this video, I'm going to share with you what I shared with my brother during that conversation. So these are the 14 lessons that I've learned about girls in the last probably 5 years that I've been journaling and writing down these lessons. You're welcome. The first lesson is that you need to understand your archetype and your complementing partner's archetype. So the first mistake that I've seen guys make, that I've made so many times, is not really understanding myself and who I am as a person and what kind of person I need in my life to complement me. Oftentimes it was just seeing a girl that you like and you're going after her. And how many times are you going to do that? How many times are you going to go through the same loop over and over again? You're going to be in a circle. So you need to understand your archetype, right? And there's so many theories out there about what different archetypes exist. I believe one of them is that the male archetypes are the magician, the warrior, the king, and the lover. And then the female archetypes are the mother, the maiden, the heartress, the mystic, the queen, the sage, and the lover. I will pop them up on the screen for you to have a look at them. But I believe that those are really complicated, lists of having more than three. So my own list that I came up with was the player, the lover, aka the simp, and the apathetic. And pretty much the player is like only cares about themselves, only wants to have fun, and is not really looking long term. The player is in the moment, right? Which makes them be more confident. By the way, I'm looking at my iPad. If you see me looking down like this a little bit, I've got some notes that I obviously wrote down that I'm sharing. So please bear with you, boy. So yeah, the player is pretty much just in the moment, living in the moment. They may have great communication skills. They may know how to communicate their value, and they're just really laissez-faire, which makes them live in the moment pretty much. The lover or the simp is all about the feelings, all about the feels. They feel strong. They've got strong emotions. I have been this guy. And oftentimes I would be that lover archetype and going after someone who perhaps is not really in that archetype. And you can imagine what ended up happening to me over and over again. The last one is the apathetic. They just don't really care. They're just like, eh. I think my brother is actually in here because my brother's kind of like, mate, give me some advice, but I don't really care about whatever. I'm just going to make my mistakes and learn from that, which is all right again. The second lesson that I've learned is to invest in your self value, and that means your mind, body, and soul. A lot of how we interact with other people and how we engage with other people is based off of how we see ourselves and the experiences that we have about ourselves as well. So when you invest in yourself, you begin to look at yourself differently and begin to build different ideas and I don't know what word I'm looking for. Kind of like stories, your self story begins to change the more you work on yourself. And so I cannot stress this enough. The lesson that I wish I knew is that I wish I worked on myself and invested in myself more than I was chasing out of myself. All that you need is within you. The third lesson is that you need to be comfortable and confident in your own skin and who you are, which obviously goes after you invest in yourself. When you invest in yourself, you then become more confident in who you are. You're going to notice that most of these lessons have a lot to do with you as a person and not necessarily girls, because who you are as a person dictates how the world will see you in the end. The fourth lesson that I've learned in the last 5 years, I'd say, is kill all self-limiting beliefs. Please, 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 I cannot stress this enough. Kill all self-limiting beliefs. For me, this was like, oh my God, I can't talk to this girl because she's a model. Oh my God, I'm not a type, blah, 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 blah. All those self-limiting beliefs, they're in your head, bro. And it's a funny story. I remember meeting this girl that was a model, amazing lady. She was fantastic. I was hanging out with my mates and we happened to be, I think we're in the library or something. We were hanging out with this girl and then we started having a chat together. And she gave me her socials, right? So after she gave me her socials, I looked her up on Instagram and she had like 10K followers or something. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, that means she's got so many guys in the DMs. That means, it doesn't matter, bro. Kill the self-limiting beliefs. And this is where the player wins. The player has got a high ego and a high self view of themselves that they don't really care about anything else. They just go for it. And that confidence oftentimes gets them what they want. Obviously, we can argue whether that's sustainable or not in the long term. Depends on what you're looking for, which goes back to the archetype in the first point. But please, please, please kill all self-limiting beliefs. The fifth lesson that I've learned is that you need to become. You need to become him. You are him. And the sooner you realize that, the better it's going to be for you. The sixth lesson is that you need to kill the attachment to the outcome. Like you need to literally kill the attachment to the outcome. Like going out with that 10 is not going to make you happier. Asking that, it doesn't matter. It's not going to really make you happy. I remember thinking, oh my God, if only I can go out with this girl, if only I can do this, then my life will become. It doesn't matter. That's the same cycle. You're going to go in the circle over and over and over again. You need to become him. You need to put yourself first. You need to find your purpose as a man and kill the attachment to the outcome. So me and my mate actually talk about this a lot where I remember having a chat about, for example, getting a new car, and what we were discussing was, mate, I want to get this new car, but the reason why I'm getting the new car is because of the feeling that I feel, or that I would feel about getting that car. And my mate would always say to me, like, how can you have that feeling without having to go and get a car, without going out to put yourself through? And we can extrapolate. The reason why I'm telling you that story is because we can actually put it, like, extrapolate that story into relationships and partners and girls. Like, cue the attachment to the outcome. Like, oh, I'm going to be happy. Like, what can you do now to be happy today? What can you do wherever you're sitting now to put yourself first as a person and to be happier and more bright? You don't need another person. So cue attachment to that outcome. The seventh lesson is that you need to come from a position of abundance, and do not do not ever idolize any person. Do not put any person on the pedestal, because whenever you do that, you give that person power to destroy you. And God, oh God, I've done this so many times where I'd always think, oh my God, this person, oh, they're amazing. If only they can. It doesn't matter, bro. Do not ever. The only person that should be on a pedestal in your life is God and Jesus. Next point. Eighth lesson. You need to become a social animal and sharpen your social skills and keep that engine running. What do I mean by this? I remember a few years ago, I met one of my mates, Swati. Swati is just phenomenal guy, amazing social skills. I used to be so shy and timid, and I'm like, oh, Swati, I like that girl. Can you please talk to that girl for me? And then Swati would be like, yeah, man, like, what's going on? Those kind of guys that walk up to a girl and be like, yo, my friend likes you, So I remember always asking Swati that. And then I began to ask him questions like, man, how is it so easy for you to talk to anyone? Whereas for me, like, I'd have to have that conversation in my head for 20 days before I can actually get the courage to walk up and speak to someone. And Swati said to me, he said, mate, you need to become a social animal. You need to talk to different people in different contexts. Like when you're getting your grocery shopping, you're talking to people. When you're in the school bus, like whatever you're doing, you need to build those social skills, keep that engine running, so that when you're in a position that you finally see that 10 and you want to go and say hi, you're not awkward because you're used to talking to people. And I've started doing this lately where I'll just go to the gas station, say, good morning, how you doing? I like your dress, I like your outfit. One of my mentors says to me, it's arrows out. Mate, keep your arrows out. Keep taking those arrows out. Not because you want to get something, but just give the world that brightness, that good energy, that high frequency, and you will get that high frequency back. The ninth lesson that I've learned, or that I wish I knew, was that you need to observe and test and also respond. So pretty much you need to observe and respond to cues, which are indicators of interest. Now, Robert Glover says this amazingly in his book, No More Mr. Nice Guy, which I had to read a while ago because I am a recovering nice guy, as I said before. And in this book, Robert Glover says how when ladies are interested in you, they will show you indicators of interest. Like it might be eye contact, it might be smiling, it might be body language. You as a man want to be able to see these cues, these indicators of interest, and act on the indicators of interest. So now, for example, I'm not going to act on, if I'm on a train, I had a conversation with my mate on this actually recently where I was saying to him, if I'm on a train and I see a pretty girl and she's on her phone, she's got earphones on and she's like looking away and she's her body language is just cold and whatever, I'm not then gonna approach her and be like, oh my God, like I'm not a cold salesman. I'm not gonna do that. But if the body language is open, then those are the people that you should be approaching, people that are actually open to you, to receiving your energy. Do that information what you may. The 10th lesson that I wish I learned was you need to pursue open doors or high interest, just like I was saying. Pursue people that are high interest in you. Open and locked doors. Robert Glover says you don't want to try to open a door that's locked. Open the doors that are unlocked in your life. And trust me, you're going to have it so easy. 11th lesson is that if she wants or like you, she'll place herself in a point of view. Again, I've learned this a lot about girls. One thing actually I've learned, the 11th thing, is that girls will make rules for guys that they don't like, but for the guys that they like, they will break these rules. So with the guys that they like, she'll say things like, "Oh, you must do this. You must take me out. You might be the guy to do this. You might bring me flowers." But if she actually likes this guy, she would take all those rules out. I've learned this so many times. So it's not what they say, it's what they do that you should be paying attention to. The 12th lesson that I wish I knew, I think I've said this before, I don't know why it's coming up here again. Open and locked doors, which you've already heard. I don't know why it's there, but anyways, open and locked doors. Don't go for the doors that are locked. The 13th lesson is that you need to take your time. You need to take your time. There's no time. There's no need to rush, bro. Remember from what I said before, you are him. I think that was the 5th lesson I've learned. You are him. Take your time. The 14th lesson is that you need to lead with your mind. It's so easy to lead with your pico. It's so easy to lead with your emotions. Emotions fluctuate over time. Your pico is just, don't listen to it. But when you lead with your mind, you will always find the right people and you always put yourself in the right direction. But to summarize all of this, if I was going to say one message that you should take away from this video, that would be, that's actually a good question. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, what lesson would that be? I think that lesson would be, you need to become him. Stop. I wish I knew this when I was 18. I wish I knew this when I was 17. I wish I knew this. You need to become. You need to become. You need to fulfill yourself. Go after your talents. Go after your interests. If you like playing soccer, join a soccer club. Learn your social skills. Learn how to communicate with different people. Become what you're meant to be. Become. And if you're a Christian like me as well, make sure that you put God first in whatever you're doing. Whether it's pursuing a painting, always pray about it. As you become, the more you become more of yourself, the more you learn your interests, the more you become more competent as a person, you become more confident. That confidence radiates with the way that you interact and talk to people. That confidence also elevates the level of the quality of the people that you actually interact or attract in your life. So these are the 14 lessons that I've learned in the last few years. I hope this blessed you as much as it blesses me. Please like, share, subscribe, whatever. Comment down below what the biggest lesson for you has been in the last few years, and let's get the conversation going. Boom!